Yeah, that's right. Hey guys, what is up? This is Drewbvie here from Mercenaries Gaming, and that sounds pretty loud. Just a second. No, it's not, alright, that is perfect sound. And we have the good luck, good luck, good luck from Complexities Drewbvie in the eastern position, that is, and the northern position we have RGN Slush, or Rain Slush. And he is the red Zerg, and of course Drewbvie is the blue Terran in this match. We have close by air positions on Shattered Temple. And this is the version, well obviously you guys have been playing this version for a long time, as Lost Temple did have the two watchtowers as well as the high ground that could allow tank splash to destroy your mineral line from your second. Now, I don't know why, I just felt like talking about Lost Temple because I was thinking about that at that previous time, and we shall open up for production tab, and we don't see anything too out of the ordinary as of yet. No proxies or anything that could be seen, and we see here Slush showing his overlord to Complexities Drewbvie, just so that he can see that there is in fact no gas, and there is going to be a barracks going down on the high ground, that is. Now, there are some certain things that you can do with this overlord when you do, and of course he scouts the barracks and wants to watch for those two geysers, but when you, and of course guys are going down for Cold Drewbvie, so we don't have any crazy all-in, or in fact any for one racks expand from Drewbvie. Yes, now, with that overlord you can, once you see the command center, just go tease it and then pull back, as the overlord has a larger range than the command center. I'm stuttering a bit today. Sorry about that, guys. I'm still getting over my cold and hay fever and sore throat, but hopefully that should be fixed by now, or hopefully soon. So that should, yeah, I'll be fine, you know, hopefully. But whatever, yeah, so if say your overlord was just here and he saw the command center, you can just pull back right away, and of course the Terran player does not know where you are, but of course you have the privilege of knowing where he spawned, so you can just like send a scout at any time in that point. But we do see here probably anticipating a factory going down from Drewbvie, as this is a pretty standard opening for at the moment, and we see here a hidden factory. This is going to be a Banshee opening, most definitely, from Complexities Drewbvie, and this is quite good, as does he, oh well, sorry, he does know that there is of course going to be a close by air spawns, but Drewbvie should probably see this soon, but unfortunately he's flying that barracks up there. What are you, a madman, Drewbvie? Holy mother of goodness. That is not orthodox at all. Rain Slush is going to be a bit curious at the moment. Nobody does that. Like, he needs to get some lings up and scout his expansion to see what's up, because there is very little, there's just little that can be said about that, because that just doesn't usually happen in Terran play, lifting off your first barracks. So he should, hopefully, Slush is a bit confused, and hopefully he shall understand that it may or may not be a fast Port Banshee opening. Now, we see here Speedlings coming down into the expansion to check what's going on, but he sees the wall in from supply depots. He's got to start being suspicious right now. He needs to like throw down some extra queens or a Evo chamber or at some point. But of course, I did not mention before, there is going to be some Hellions going down in the main base of Slush, and from where it's rallied, he looks like he's going to be waiting for a number of them. Yeah, he is. He's waiting for a number of Hellions. This is actually quite scary from Drewbvie, and Slush needs to know that something's going on. But a spine crawler in the natural, that is not going to be the right decision at the moment, as we see both Hellions and Banshees are coming to assail the attack. Well, not the attack, but of course the base of Slush. Now, we don't see any cloaking at the moment, but this is the question of the hour. Did Slush see that Banshee? He saw the starport with a tech lab on it. Now we see 4 Hellions going to be queued up right now for Drewbvie. He is going for a huge economic bust right now to just kill Slush with heaps of sorry about that, with heaps of Hellions and of course Banshees. This is not going to be good for Slush. However, he does know, oh, he's just spotted the factory. He does know something's, well, of course he knows something's up, but he has made 4 queens at the moment. And of course, whoa, that was a beautiful surround right there from Slush. But have we seen the Banshees into play yet? Have I missed anything? BM from Drewbvie. These guys are just all mana players, and he's saying BM for scouting that and just destroying those Hellions. But I don't know where those Banshees have gotten to. What? Did he cancel those Banshees or something? Did I must have missed that. What time was that at? It's 7:52, and of course you guys see there that that is a long replay. I'm going to have to note that down somewhere that I can come back and check that out a bit later. I'm just going to, because that is amazing. He did not just do that unless the Banshees was cancelled. There we go. That if those Banshees weren't cancelled, then Slush just cleaned up a massive amount of stuff by Drewbvie, and yes, it does seem to be that the Banshees were cancelled. That is quite a read from Drewbvie, as you can see here. He has only lost 474 resources, so that is probably just from cancelling something. No, he probably lost an SCV and cancelled the something, or other, and of course lost those 4 Hellions just getting sandwiched in there. Now we see the rocks being destroyed from Slush and the armor upgrade coming back. I'm going to put back on the tab of production. Now we see here Drewbvie getting a bunker down, and Slush wisely going down in there to see if there was a hidden third command center that can be put right next to the rocks, which is not uncommon to be doing that these days. But of course we see Siege Tank mode going down, and by Siege Tank mode I mean Siege Tech, coming down from that factory, as well as some tanks, and we already have 1 out right now, and the supply counts are pretty even. However, that can be pretty deceptive, as we do see the 3rd base going down now from Slush, but of course Drewbvie spotting that, and he might just land that Viking just to be a bit of a pain. No, he's just going to scoot on by. Now, Drewbvie did take quite a while to oh, excuse me guys. Drewbvie did take a little while to plant down that command center, and he didn't look to have done too much damage. If we look in the units lost tab, well, from before at least, there was only 8 drones that were killed. What? Doesn't make sense. What did I miss? What did I miss? Well, yeah, probably just an assortment of things that had gotten killed. I'm a bit confused about that, but either way, of course, we did see those lings charging in there, and there is the 3rd command center by Drewbvie. And wow, this is going to be a huge abusal of, and by abusal I mean he's just going to abuse the high ground right now, and there is not much that Slush can do about it. However, he does have a lot of Zerglings on the field right now. I don't know how I pressed the units tab, but of course we see the +1 weapons attack from Drewbvie, and that was a beautiful pickup right there. And by Drewbvie I mean Slush. Now that was a beautiful pickup right there, making sure that he did not lose too many of his Marines, and of course did a lot of damage to those lings right there. That was probably not the best angle from Rain Slush, as he needed to get down on the low ground, but of course that was pretty unexpected and a very good move from Drewbvie. He is being quite the pesky little guy in this game, but he is doing quite a good job at that, trying to do as much harassment as he can, keeping Slush on his toes, making sure that these mutas could be delayed as possible. We see here it is 12 minutes and 45 seconds when these mutas have popped, and of course the medevac being spotted by the mutas. That was a great play right there from Slush, managing to see that just as it was the medevac, sorry, just as it was coming into his mineral line. Now we see here the gold base being taken from Drewbvie at the moment, and no fourth on the way from Slush, just getting up his third base. We see here 65 drones to only 38, and of course the number is decreasing as we see the Mutalisk harassment underway. No turrets yet positioned in the main base of Drewbvie. Now, however, one just finishing up just then, and of course one of the SCVs being killed on that missile turret. Let's see how many he did destroy. He destroyed 12 workers right there. That was actually quite a useful attack from our Slush. Now, well, that was kind of anticlimactic. It was like pausing and doing things, and I was just like, Slush. Now we see here no missile turrets from Drewbvie in his natural, and this is because there's not really any way of, wait, hold that thought, we have a big battle right here in the middle of the map. We have one Baneling just wanting to destroy those Marines, but of course it won't happen, as these tanks are beautifully placed to be pulled back from by Drewbvie. Now, as I was saying before, he doesn't exactly need turrets positioned in his natural, as the only way that well, basically, no, let's rephrase that, because that made no sense at all, and where I was going with that was stupid. But of course, these Marines are, well, he's gonna want to position a majority of his army somewhere close to his natural. As we see here, his Marines are just clustered around his natural, and of course, whenever these mutas would want to try and go down here and harass the mineral line, then they might get a nasty surprise from these Marines, and of course the medevacs coming out right now, and Marines wanting to retreat to see what damage they can do to these Mutalisks, who are being quite pesky. At the moment we see 4th base up by Slush, and of course nice Overlord placement. Surprised at how little he is placing his Overlords around, but of course that may or may not be due to the that one Viking who is no longer alive. But of course we don't see much Overlord spreading, although the creep spread is pretty good by Slush. Now we see that he doesn't have a great spotting for drops, but these he's just read my mind right there, is just positioning Overlords in good places, but he has a surprisingly good vision from this creep spread, spreading all the way around his main base right there. Now, let's go into the everyman cam again, as we see another battle commencing from Complexity Drewbvie. Almost called him Root Drewbvie back there. That was a bit of a flashback to the early days of StarCraft 2. Now, there doesn't seem to be too many mutas, as they are down here harassing the 3rd base of Drewbvie. Now, here is going to be a massive Baneling hit. If these guys connect, then that is going to be huge for Slush, but of course pulls back at the right second, as those tanks would have just slaughtered those Banelings, and that would have been a lot of damage done to Slush that may or may not have been able to recover from such. We see a hive. That's a hive, right? No, he's getting a lair and a hive. I was like kind of confused, because that's a bit small for a hive in his main base. I believe that to be a misclick, because you don't usually want to get 2 lairs and a hive at the same time, and by 2 lairs I mean like you have 2 lairs and then one of them is morphing into a hive. Now, that is obviously a misclick, and when he notices that, he's going to be a bit sad about that. Doesn't usually happen in the high level of play, but that's alright. It's a bit of fun to watch and comical to laugh at. We see here adrenal glands being started right away, just so that he can get that extra damage from those Zerglings, so that they can be reaching their full potential. And of course the 4th base coming down right now for Slush, and turning that one into a planetary fortress. Full production ramping up right now, or maybe that was just the one. Yeah, it was just the one. That is okay. It was that came out quite a while ago, but I wasn't sure if he was ramping up before production.